I ask for your most sacred and undivided attention. This is not a general spiritual lesson, but a direct, personal, and extremely time-sensitive prophecy being delivered to you from the highest celestial realms by your divine guardian, Archangel Michael. He is breaking through the veil of your everyday reality today to alert you to a critical, powerful, and imminent cosmic event that is divinely scheduled to permanently and irrevocably alter the course of your entire life. This is not a distant possibility. It is a divine appointment that has been written in the stars and on your soul's contract for eons. The focal point of this entire celestial event is a single, upcoming date, Wednesday, October 1st, 2025. You must anchor this date in your mind and in your heart, for it represents the most significant turning point of your current incarnation. This date, Michael reveals, is not arbitrary. It is a cosmic fulcrum point, a moment of profound energetic alignment in which the fabric of reality becomes unusually thin and malleable. It is a divinely orchestrated window of opportunity where the veil between different timelines, different potential futures, will part for a brief but glorious moment. For souls who are prepared, this is a day when a quantum leap, a great and miraculous shift in destiny, becomes not only possible, but is the divine plan. Your entire life, with all its seeming chaos and meandering paths, has been an intricate and purposeful journey, meticulously designed to bring you, fully prepared and spiritually mature, to this single, sacred, and prophesied day of passage. This divine message is being delivered to you now, precisely 1 week before this event, because you are one of the souls for whom this prophecy is intended. It is a personal and direct communication. The universe is not just presenting a general opportunity, it is holding a divine appointment with you. You have been chosen, you have been forged, and you have been guided to this exact moment in time to be a full and conscious participant in the magnificent event that is about to unfold. The purpose of this communication, therefore, is to serve as your official divine briefing, to prepare your mind, your heart, and your spirit for the monumental choice and the glorious transition that awaits you on October 1st. Before a great and new chapter can begin in any story, the previous chapter must come to a definitive and final conclusion. Archangel Michael now reveals a profound and perhaps startling truth about the structure of your life's timeline. The current era of your life, the entire chapter that has been defined by your past struggles, your arduous forging, your karmic lessons, and your old identity, is not scheduled to simply fade away. It has been given a divine and absolute expiration date. Your life as you have known it, the entire energetic paradigm you have been operating under, is divinely scheduled to come to a full and complete end on the eve of this event, at midnight on September 30th. You must understand that this is not a metaphor for change, it is a literal energetic and spiritual reality. The soul contracts that have bound you to certain difficult people and challenging situations will expire. The karmic lessons that have been repeating in your life will be marked as complete. The very energetic patterns that have defined your struggles with lack, with loneliness, or with self-doubt will reach the end of their divinely allotted cycle. You are, at this very moment, living in the final 7 days of your old life. The book of your past is about to be closed forever by the hand of God. He asks you to now connect this divine intelligence with the feelings in your own heart and spirit. Have you not felt a strange and powerful sense of restlessness and finality in the air recently? Have you not been feeling a deep, inner knowing that you are profoundly done with your current circumstances, that you can no longer tolerate the old limitations, the old dramas, the old stories? This is not just emotional fatigue, this is your own soul, in its infinite wisdom, sensing the imminent and glorious conclusion of its current chapter. The feeling of agitation you have been experiencing is the spiritual equivalent of the intense pressure that builds in the atmosphere just before a great and cleansing thunderstorm. Therefore, you are not to fear this great ending. It is not a tragic death, but a sacred and joyful completion. It is a divine graduation ceremony. You have done the work. You have learned the lessons. You have completed the curriculum of your old reality. And now, you are being asked to spend this final week consciously and gracefully preparing to walk off the stage of your old life, so that you may be fully ready to witness the curtain rise on the magnificent and completely new play that is about to begin. This is not an ending to be mourned, it is a victory to be celebrated. The entire journey of your soul in this lifetime has been anything but random. Michael now reveals the divine and intricate logic behind your life's path. Every single event, every choice, every joy, and especially every painful struggle and heartbreaking tear, has been a part of a great and divine convergence, a celestial plan designed to bring you to this one single day of decision with the perfect and complete set of skills, wisdom, strength, and spiritual clarity that you would need to choose correctly. Nothing was a mistake. Nothing was a waste. It was all a necessary and purposeful preparation for the great passage that is now just 1 week away. He asks you to look back at your forging, at the trials that have shaped you. The heartbreaks you endured were not punishments, they were the sacred fires that burned away your ego and opened your heart to a level of compassion that is now required for your mission. The failures you faced were not signs of your inadequacy, they were the hammer blows that forged your divine and unbreakable resilience. The betrayals that wounded you were the harsh but necessary lessons that taught you the invaluable skill of spiritual discernment. Your entire life curriculum has been a bespoke and highly advanced training program, custom designed to create the exact spiritual warrior that is needed for the new reality that lies beyond the door of October 1st. You must also understand that your own recent choices have been the final and most critical part of this convergence. Your recent decision to choose faith over fear in a critical moment, your willingness to partner with the divine, your conscious choice to heal your past and to step into a higher version of yourself, these were not just small personal victories. These were the final, crucial energetic keys that you yourself had to turn. These recent acts of courage were you, signaling to heaven that your training was complete and that you were now officially ready for the prophesied day of your graduation to arrive. You have not just been carried to this moment, you have actively and powerfully co-created your arrival here. Imagine your entire life as the long, wooden shaft of a great and mighty spear. All of your history, all of your experiences, all of your energy has been gathered and focused for a single purpose. And now, all of that collected energy is converging into the single, sharp, brilliant, and powerful point of that spear. That point is October 1st, 2025. This is the day that the spear of your life is meant to be thrown, to pierce the veil between worlds and to carry you into your new reality. This is the culmination of everything you are and everything you have ever been. All of your life has been for this one, single, glorious day. On this great and prophesied day of decision, Archangel Michael explains that this cosmic choice point will manifest in your spiritual and physical reality in the form of two great doors. This is the sacred metaphor he gives you to help you understand the clear and unambiguous nature of the choice you will face. These are not imaginary doors, they are real, tangible opportunities, real potential timelines that will be presented to you. On October 1st, you will find yourself standing in a metaphorical hallway, and you will be required to consciously choose which of these two doors you will walk through. The first is the great door of your future. He asks you to visualize it now. It is a magnificent, luminous, and perhaps even intimidatingly grand door. It may seem to be made of pure, white gold light, and it hums with a high, beautiful, and powerful frequency. This is the door that has, up until now, been locked. Behind this door lies your true and great destiny, the higher timeline of grace, flow, and divine purpose that your soul has always yearned for. It does not offer you the guarantee of comfort or predictability. It offers you the far greater promise of divine adventure, of profound fulfillment, and of becoming the glorious being you were always meant to be. This is the great door that, for 24 hours only, will be miraculously and divinely open for you. The second is the familiar door to your past. He asks you to visualize this door as well. It is a smaller, simpler door. It may be made of old, familiar wood, its handle worn smooth by the touch of your old habits and your limiting beliefs. It is not as bright or as grand, but it feels safe. It feels known. Behind this door lies the continuation of your old reality, the path of predictable struggle, of familiar comforts, and of your old, unawakened identity. It promises an escape from the terrifying and magnificent challenge of stepping into your greatness. It is the door of settling for less. This is the door that, after this one final day of choice, will be permanently and irrevocably closed and sealed forever. The choice you will face on October 1st will be this clear and this absolute. There will be no third option. There will be no opportunity to keep one foot in each reality. You will be presented with a clear, undeniable path forward into your magnificent and unknown future, and a clear, final opportunity to retreat into your familiar and limiting past. The entire summation of your soul's journey in this lifetime, every test, every lesson, every moment of forging, has come down to this one, simple and profoundly powerful question: on the great day of passage, which of these two doors will you choose to walk through? You have been brought to this critical and time-sensitive crossroads, and you will not be left to navigate it alone. Archangel Michael now clearly and lovingly defines his role for you during this final and most important week of preparation. He is not here to make the choice for you, for that would violate your sacred free will. Nor is he here to simply be a passive observer. For this week, he will be your divine preparatory coach. He is taking on the role of your personal trainer, your divine strategist, and your spiritual guide, with the single, focused objective of preparing your mind, your heart, and your spirit so that when you stand before the two doors on October 1st, your choice will be clear, confident, powerful, and correct. This entire message, this divine communication you are receiving today, is the beginning of that coaching. This and the parts that will follow are your official training manual, your sacred 7-day guide to a successful and glorious graduation. He will provide you with the spiritual exercises, the mental reframes, the emotional purges, and the divine wisdom that you will need to successfully pass this final and most important test of your life. He is giving you the playbook. He is teaching you the final lessons. He is ensuring that you will arrive on the great day of decision not in a state of fear and confusion, but in a state of calm, centered, and powerful readiness. He now calls you to a sacred week of focus. He asks you, to the best of your ability, to treat these next 7 days, from today, Wednesday, September 24th, until the eve of your passage on September 30th, as the most important spiritual retreat of your entire life. This is a time to quiet the external noise of the world as much as possible. It is a time to minimize distractions, to avoid unnecessary dramas, and to turn your focus inward. It is a time to journal, to meditate, to walk in nature, and to consciously work with the divine protocols and instructions that he will be providing for you in this message. This is your final week of training before the great championship game of your life. He concludes this first part of his briefing with a sacred and unbreakable promise. He says to you, if you follow my guidance this week, if you commit yourself to this final stage of your preparation, if you do the inner work that I will ask of you, I give you my sacred word, when you stand before the two doors on October 1st, you will feel no fear. You will feel no confusion. You will not be tempted by the illusion of the past. You will know with every fiber of your being which door is yours, and you will walk through it with the unshakable joy and the absolute certainty of a soul who is finally and completely coming home. As you stand at this sacred crossroads, with the great day of passage just 1 week away, Archangel Michael believes it is of the utmost importance that you understand, with absolute and vivid clarity, exactly what you are choosing between. He will now, with his divine sight, give you a glimpse beyond the veil, a preview of the two great realities that are represented by the two doors. First, he asks you to turn your full and joyful attention to the great door of your future. He wants you to feel into the magnificent opportunity, the higher timeline, and the new reality that has been waiting for you, the one that is now, for a brief and glorious moment, swinging open. Behind this great and luminous door lies a reality where the fundamental operating system has been upgraded from struggle to grace and flow. Imagine a life where you are no longer fighting against a relentless current, but are instead being carried by a powerful, intelligent, and loving river that is always guiding you towards your highest good. In this new reality, divine synchronicities are not rare and surprising events. They are the normal, everyday language of the universe, your daily GPS that guides you with ease and precision. It is a reality where your needs are miraculously and consistently met, often before you even become consciously aware of them. It is a state of being where you are in a constant and beautiful co-creative dance with the cosmos, where the universe acts not as a withholding judge, but as your most enthusiastic and supportive partner. Beyond this door also lies the full and glorious activation of your divine purpose. The secret, sacred mission you were forged for is no longer a vague feeling or a future hope. It becomes your joyful, daily reality. You will wake up every single morning infused with a profound sense of meaning, knowing with absolute certainty that you are doing the very work you were born to do. In this new timeline, your unique, forged gifts will not only be recognized and valued, but they will be in high demand. You will be placed in the perfect situations to use your strength, your wisdom, and your compassion to be of the highest service, and you will be abundantly supported in all ways for doing so. It is the end of striving for purpose and the beginning of simply living it. Finally, and perhaps most beautifully, behind this door lies a reality of authentic, high-vibrational connection. The painful lessons of toxic and draining relationships are part of the old school you are graduating from. This new timeline is one of authentic, soul-nourishing connections. In this reality, you will find yourself surrounded by your true soul tribe, other forged warriors of light, loving allies, and divine partners who see you, who celebrate you, and who challenge you to become the highest and best version of yourselves. It is a life where love is unconditional, where support is unwavering, and where your heart can finally feel safe enough to be fully and completely open. This magnificent, light-filled reality is not a fantasy. It is a real, waiting, and divinely guaranteed timeline. It is the prize that awaits your courageous yes. Now, with a compassionate but firm honesty, Archangel Michael asks you to turn your awareness to the other door, the familiar door to your past. He needs you to understand, without any illusion, what this door truly represents and why it is so critical that its auction be permanently removed from your life. He first acknowledges its seductive allure. This door represents comfort. It represents the known, the predictable, and the seemingly safe. After a lifetime of arduous forging and the exhausting uncertainty of walking by faith, the promise of this door, an end to the struggle, or a return to what is familiar, can feel like a siren song to a tired and weary soul. It is the temptation of the comfortable cage. Behind this familiar door lies a life of good enough. It is the continuation of your current reality, but with the pressure of your great destiny removed. It is the good enough job that provides security but no inspiration. It is the good enough relationship that provides companionship but no true soul-level growth. It is a life lived in a muted, gray tones of compromise, a reality where you are no longer actively suffering, but are also never, ever actively and joyfully thriving. It is a life of quiet and respectable stagnation, a slow and gentle spiritual suffocation, a reality that will be forever haunted by the quiet but persistent, soul-deep ache of your unfulfilled potential. The very energetic state of the reality behind this door is one of spiritual entropy. Your magnificent, forged light, which was created to be a brilliant and world-changing bonfire, would, in this reality, be dutifully reduced to a tiny pilot light. Just enough to keep you warm, just enough to get by, but never enough to illuminate the path for others or to cast out any real darkness. It is a reality where your divine weapons, your courage, your wisdom, your compassion, are hung on the wall to rust, and your sacred vessel is filled not with the high-frequency light of purpose, but with the stagnant water of comfortable complacency. Michael reveals that the closing of this door is not a punishment from heaven, it is a profound and supreme act of divine love and respect for your soul. The universe, God, and He Himself have seen the magnificent being you were forged to become, and they love you too much to allow you to choose a reality that is so profoundly beneath your true potential. They are lovingly and firmly closing this door forever to prevent you from making the tragic mistake of choosing to play small. They are, in essence, forcing your graduation, pushing you out of the comfortable but limiting nest because they know, with absolute certainty, that you were born to fly. With the nature of the two doors now clear, Archangel Michael must illuminate the great and powerful temptation that could cause you to choose the lesser path. In these final days, your greatest enemy is not some external demon or dark force. At this final step, your greatest and most seductive enemy is your own deep and human desire for comfort. Comfort is the great and silent killer of divine destinies. It is the anesthetic of the soul. It is the velvet-lined prison that feels so safe and so reasonable that you do not even realize you are incarcerated. The primary temptation you will face this week is the temptation to trade your glorious, adventurous, and divinely ordained future for the simple and immediate comfort of the familiar past. To cling to that familiar door, to choose it out of fear of the unknown, is not just a simple mistake. Michael frames it as a profound and tragic act of self-betrayal. It is an act of betraying the brave and magnificent soul who, before you were born, willingly signed up for a lifetime of difficult forging, all in the name of the great mission that now awaits you. It is an act of betraying your divine commander, Archangel Michael, who has stood by you as your forge master, who has protected you, and who has now opened the very gates of heaven for you. And most painfully of all, it is an act of betraying your own future self, that glorious, fulfilled, and joyous being who is waiting patiently for you on the other side of the great door, hoping and praying that you will have the courage to walk through and meet them. The conflict you will feel this week is the final battle between your ego and your soul. Your human ego, whose prime directive is to keep you safe and comfortable at all costs, will be screaming at you with 1,000 logical and convincing reasons to choose the familiar door. It will tell you that you are tired, that you've done enough, that you deserve a rest, that the great door is too risky, and that you are not strong enough to handle what lies beyond it. Your soul, in contrast, will be whispering. It will not use logic. It will simply and quietly emanate a feeling of truth, a feeling of expansion, a gentle but persistent pull towards the great, luminous, and unknown door. This choice is the final moment where you must decide which part of you is the true and sovereign ruler of your life. Michael now calls you to a moment of the most radical and courageous honesty you have ever undertaken. He asks you to look at the familiar door and to admit to yourself, right now, that the comfort it offers is a beautiful and seductive lie. It is the lie that you are not strong enough for your own destiny. It is the lie that you are not worthy of a magnificent life. It is the lie that the familiar cage is safer than the boundless sky. Choosing comfort at this juncture is the ultimate act of betraying the glorious, powerful, and unbreakable warrior that heaven has spent your entire lifetime forging. You must now understand, with absolute and final clarity, the significance of the forever clause. When Archangel Michael says that the familiar door to your past will close forever after this date, he is not speaking in metaphors or hyperbole. He is stating a direct and literal truth of cosmic and energetic law. The unique and powerful celestial alignment that makes this great sorting of timelines possible is an incredibly rare and fleeting event. The immense divine energy required to simultaneously hold open the great door to your future while also permanently dismantling the energetic pathway to your past is only available during this specific and prophesied 24-hour window. This is not an opportunity that will come around again in your lifetime. After October 1st, the energetic bridge, the very real spiritual pathway that connects your present moment to the potential timeline of your old, comfortable, and limited reality, will be permanently and completely dissolved. It is not just that the door will be locked, the very hallway that leads to the door will cease to exist. You are being offered one final, conscious choice. You can either walk through the great door into your new future, or you can remain where you are and allow the door to your past to be sealed from the other side, leaving you in a reality where the auction of that familiar comfort is gone, but the door to your greatness has also passed you by. The choice is binary, and the consequences are eternal. But you must not see this finality as a threat or a punishment from a cruel God. It is, in fact, the ultimate and most profound act of divine love. Imagine a loving parent who sees their brilliant and capable adult child refusing to leave their childhood home out of fear of the world. After years of encouragement, there may come a day where the parent, in an act of tough and supreme love, sells the home, lovingly forcing the child to finally go out and build their own magnificent life. This is what the universe is now doing for you. It loves you too much, it respects the soul you have become too much, and it is too committed to your divine greatness to allow you to have the option of choosing to play small ever again. This forever clause, while it may feel frightening to your ego, is actually the source of your greatest and most profound freedom. It means that if you make the courageous choice, if you choose to step through the great door, you will never again be tempted or haunted by the ghost of your old, smaller, and more limited self. You will never have to worry about backsliding into your old patterns, because the very reality in which those patterns existed will be permanently inaccessible to you. The decision, once you make it, is absolute. It is final. And it is forever. This finality is not your prison, it is the divine guarantee of your permanent and irreversible liberation. With all of this now laid bare before you, Archangel Michael offers you the final and most empowering reframe for this entire, monumental event. He asks you to release the heavy energy of seeing this as a great and terrifying test. While it certainly contains all the elements of a final exam, it is far more accurate and far more empowering for you to now shift your perspective and to see this for what it truly is in the eyes of heaven, your divine graduation ceremony. The long, arduous, and often painful schooling of your human experience is now complete. Your life up until this very moment has been the school, your many trials were the exams, and October 1st is your official and glorious graduation day. The choice you are to make is the ceremony itself. The act of consciously choosing the great door is the equivalent of you walking across the great celestial stage to receive your divine diploma from the hands of the Creator. It is your public declaration to all of creation that you have learned the lessons, that you have passed the tests, and that you are now ready to graduate into the new and higher reality you have so courageously earned. The closing of the familiar door is not a punishment, it is the happy and final act of the gates of your old school locking behind you, signifying with absolute finality that you have mastered its curriculum and are not required to ever repeat the grade again. Indeed, you can even see this as a loving and divinely forced graduation. Think of a wise and loving parent who knows, with absolute certainty, that their brilliant and capable adult child is ready to leave the nest and build their own incredible life, yet the child hesitates, clinging to the safety of the familiar. That parent, in an act of supreme love and faith in their child, will often have to provide a gentle but firm push. This is what heaven is doing now. It is lovingly and firmly pushing you out of the comfortable nest of your old reality because it has absolute and total faith in your ability to fly. Therefore, you are to approach this entire week and the great day of October 1st not with the anxiety of a student facing a final exam, but with the profound joy, the deep pride, and the thrilling anticipation of a graduate on the verge of their commencement. This is not a moment to be dreaded, it is the great moment of celebration and honor that your entire life has been leading up to. Heaven is not testing you to see if you will fail. It is honoring you by creating a grand and cosmic ceremony to celebrate the magnificent and powerful soul that you have officially and finally become. With the prophecy now revealed and the profound choice of the two doors now clear in your mind, your divine coach, Archangel Michael, begins your formal training. You must understand that this week is not a period of passive waiting, it is the most important and sacred week of spiritual preparation of your entire life. To ensure you are able to walk through the great door on October 1st with absolute clarity, courage, and power, he is now bestowing upon you Michael's divine 7-day protocol. This is a sacred schedule of inner work, a daily focus that will guide you from today, Wednesday, September 24th, until the very eve of your passage on September 30th. This is not a mere suggestion, it is the official training regimen for your divine graduation, and your full and sincere participation is required. The purpose of this divine protocol is threefold, and each objective is critical for your success. The first objective, which we will focus on for the first part of the week, is to help you completely, lovingly, and permanently detach from the powerful energetic and emotional pull of the familiar door, the door to your past. We must sever the final, clinging tethers to your old identity and its limitations. The second objective is to then help you fully and powerfully align your entire energetic being with the high and beautiful frequency of the great door, the door to your magnificent future. We must make you a perfect vibrational match to the reality you are about to enter. The final objective of this protocol is to build your spiritual fortitude and your faith to an absolute and unshakable peak state. This is to ensure that when you stand before the doors on that fateful day, your choice will be made not from a place of nervous hope, but from a place of calm, certain, and glorious knowing. Michael now asks you for your solemn and sacred commitment to this process for the next 7 days. He asks you to treat this week as a holy and personal spiritual retreat. This will require you to consciously and deliberately minimize the distractions and the low-frequency noise of the outer world as much as you possibly can. This is a week to step back from unnecessary dramas, to avoid the fear-based narratives of the media, and to lovingly disengage from conversations and situations that you know will drain your precious energy. Your focus now must be turned inward, on the profound and life-altering work that you and he will be doing together. This is your final week of school before your graduation into a new reality, and you must attend every single class with your full and undivided attention. He makes you this sacred promise: if you sincerely and diligently engage with the daily focus of this protocol, if you do the inner work that he asks of you, you will not be the same person on September 30th that you are today. This week will be a powerful and rapid alchemical process. It will transform you, moment by moment, into the precise and perfect version of yourself who is capable of walking through the great door not with fear or hesitation, but with the profound ease, the unshakable joy, and the divine grace of a soul who is finally and completely coming home. Your preparation begins now. For the first 2 days of your 7-day protocol, today and tomorrow, Wednesday, September 24th, and Thursday, September 25th, your entire spiritual focus must be on one single, powerful objective: the great emotional purge. Archangel Michael explains that you cannot hope to enter the high-frequency reality of your future while you are still energetically tethered to the dense and heavy emotions of your past. Before you can build the new, you must fully and completely clear the foundation of the old. You must now consciously identify and cut the final, clinging cords of attachment that are binding you to the old door, the familiar reality you are about to leave behind forever. This is the sacred work of letting go. To facilitate this great purge, he now gives you a simple, private, and profoundly effective sacred ritual. Sometime within these next 2 days, you are to take a piece of paper and a pen and find a space where you will not be disturbed. He then asks you to perform an act of radical honesty with your own heart. You are to write down a complete and uncensored list of every single thing you are afraid of losing by leaving your old life behind. Write down your attachment to the familiar comforts, however limiting they may be. Write down your attachment to certain people who you know, in your heart, are not a match for your new reality. Write down your attachment to your old stories of struggle, to the identity of a victim or a survivor. Write down your regrets, your what-ifs, and every single fear that the thought of leaving your old self behind brings up. This is the sacred act of bringing your subconscious attachments into the bright and healing light of your conscious awareness. Once your list is complete, and you feel that you have poured every last attachment and regret onto the page, you are to perform a sacred act of divine transmutation. In a safe and controlled manner, you are to take this piece of paper and you are to burn it. Fire is the great element of purification and transformation. As you watch the paper curl and the words turn to ash and smoke, you are to speak a powerful prayer of release, either aloud or in your heart. You are to say, "I thank these old attachments, these old fears, and these old stories for the safety they once provided me. I honor the lessons they have taught me. And now, in this moment, I lovingly, completely, and permanently release them into the light of God. You are no longer a part of my reality. I am free." Watch until the last ember has died out. Michael wants you to understand that this is far more than just a symbolic or psychological exercise. It is a powerful and definitive energetic declaration to the entire universe that you are officially and irrevocably letting go of your past. This ritual sends a clear and powerful signal that you are making yourself energetically and emotionally available for your new timeline. It is the sacred act of consciously and deliberately creating a clean, pure, and empty vacuum within your being. This purified space is now ready to be filled with the high-frequency energies of your new and magnificent destiny, which is the work for the days that will follow. With the heavy energies of your past now lovingly purged and released, your spiritual work for the next 2 days, Friday, September 26th, and Saturday, September 27th, must shift completely. You have created the sacred empty space. Now you must begin to fill it with the vibrant and beautiful frequency of your future. Your entire focus for this period must be on the cultivation of divine vision. This is the part of your training where you will cease to look backward at the door that is closing and will instead turn your full and undivided attention, your energy, and your heart towards the great door of your future. You must now use your powerful, divine creative energy to magnetize yourself to your new reality. For this, Archangel Michael gives you a beautiful and joyful daily practice. He instructs you to several times each day during this 2-day period, find a few moments to be quiet, close your eyes, and practice the art of feeling into your future. He stresses that this is not about trying to mentally visualize the specific details of your new life. The glories that await you are beyond what your current mind can imagine. Instead, this practice is about becoming a vibrational match to the emotional frequency, the feeling state, of the new timeline. You are to ask yourself, what will it feel like when I have walked through that great door? What is the core emotion of my new reality? Let your soul answer that question. It may be a feeling of profound, unshakable peace. It may be a feeling of expansive, liberating freedom. It may be a feeling of vibrant, creative joy. Or it may be a deep sense of purpose and fulfillment. Whatever that core feeling is for you, your only task is to marinate in it. Do not just think about it. Generate the feeling in the center of your heart and allow it to expand until it fills your entire body and your aura. You are not trying to see your future. You are practicing being the version of you who is already living it. To assist you in this, Michael suggests that you create a vision anchor for yourself. This is a physical or sensory tool that will help you instantly reconnect with that high-frequency feeling. It could be a specific piece of uplifting music that perfectly encapsulates the feeling of your new reality. It could be a beautiful image or a photograph that evokes that emotion within you. It could even be a single word, like freedom or peace, that you write down and place where you will see it often. Throughout these 2 days, whenever you feel your mind wandering back to old thoughts or worries, you are to use your anchor to immediately pull your focus and your feeling state back to the glorious vibration of your future. This practice is designed to shift you from a state of merely hoping for your new reality to a state of powerfully embodying it in your present moment. As you draw closer to the great day of passage, you must be prepared for a final and powerful test of your resolve. Archangel Michael now prepares you for the work of the next 2 days, Sunday, September 28th, and Monday, September 29th. He explains that as your frequency rises and your new reality draws near, your old, fear-based ego and the spirit of the almost will launch their final and most intense counterattack. You may be flooded with a sudden wave of powerful what-if scenarios, with terrifying doubts, or with feelings of your own unworthiness. This is not a sign that you are failing, it is a predictable and necessary part of the process. Your spiritual focus for these 2 days, therefore, must be on the fortification of faith. This is the final great test that was spoken of in a previous briefing. It is the ultimate exam of your ability to hold your faith steady in the face of a direct and sophisticated assault from the forces of illusion. These final, intense waves of fear are the last desperate gasps of your old reality, the final illusions that you must learn to see through before you are granted passage. Your work now is not to avoid these fears, but to meet them head-on with the new, powerful, and unshakable faith that you have been building. You are the forged warrior, and this is your final opportunity to prove your mastery of the tools you have been given. To assist you in this final and most important test, Michael now gives you a specific and powerful prayer of fortification. This is a divine decree, a warrior's declaration that you are to use the very moment you feel one of these last-minute fears or doubts beginning to arise. You are not to engage with the fear's story or to argue with its logic. You are to immediately override it with this more powerful and more truthful declaration. He asks you to memorize these words and to have them ready in your spiritual arsenal for the battle ahead. When the fear arises, you are to stand firm in your spirit, take a deep breath, and speak these words with all the authority of your forged soul. I see this illusion of fear. I recognize it as the final, powerless echo of an old and dying reality. It has no substance, and it has no authority over me. I now activate the full and undeniable truth of my forged soul and the absolute certainty of Archangel Michael's divine vow. My faith is a brilliant and unbreakable shield. My victory is a guaranteed and foregone conclusion. This fear has no power here, for I am a sovereign being of light, and I stand only in the reality of my glorious destiny. And so it is. This prayer is your sword and your shield. It is the weapon that will allow you to stand victorious against the final phantoms of your past. Now that the work of your preparation is complete, we arrive at the final day, the sacred eve of your passage. Your spiritual focus for Tuesday, September 30th, is not one of doing, but of being. There are no more rituals to perform, no more visions to cultivate, and no more fears to battle. The work is done. The training is complete. Your only and final task for this holy day, Michael instructs, is the final act of surrender. You have done everything you can possibly do. You must now release the entire process to the divine and rest in a state of profound and absolute trust. He asks you to make this final day of your old life a sacred and quiet one. This is a day to turn off the noise of the world as completely as possible. It is a day for stillness, for quiet contemplation, and for simply being present in your own heart. All of your conscious effort is now complete. You must now surrender the outcome of your efforts to a higher power, trusting that your preparation has been perfect and that the divine plan is unfolding with grace. You are to simply rest in a state of peaceful, joyful, and profound receptivity, like a beautiful flower that has done all of its growing and is now simply and serenely waiting for the morning sun to cause it to bloom. Before you go to sleep on this final and most holy night, Michael gives you one last, simple, and beautiful prayer to speak. It is not a prayer of doing, but a prayer of allowing. It is the final and complete release of all control, the ultimate act of trust. He asks you to speak these or similar words from your heart as you lay your head down to rest. My beloved God, my divine guardian Archangel Michael, and my own magnificent soul, the work of my preparation is now complete. I have made my sovereign choice. I now surrender my entire being, my past, my future, and this sacred process completely and totally into your loving hands. I am ready to be reborn. I release all control. I trust you completely. Let your perfect will be done. I will see you in the morning on the other side of the veil, in my new home. He then tells you that your sleep on this night will be a sacred, transformative, and divinely healed event. While your physical body rests, your soul and your entire angelic team will be making the final, delicate energetic adjustments and calibrations for your smooth and graceful passage through the portal. You are to go to sleep not with anxiety, but with the joyful, serene, and certain anticipation of a child on the night before their greatest birthday. Know with every fiber of your being that you have done your part perfectly. You are ready. Go now and rest, beloved warrior. For when you awaken, the great and glorious day of your destiny will have finally dawned. The week of sacred preparation is now complete. The great and prophesied day of your passage has finally dawned. On this day, Wednesday, October 1st, 2025, the prophecy is fulfilled, the cosmic gateway is open, and the choice you have been prepared for your entire life is now directly before you. Archangel Michael instructs you to move through this day not with anxiety, but with a state of calm, joyful, and heightened awareness. You are to be a divine observer, watching for the signs of your two doors manifesting in your physical reality. This is the day of your great and final exam, and you are more than ready to pass it with flying colors. The great door of your future will not appear as a literal, shimmering portal of light. It will manifest in a way that is both miraculous and perfectly integrated into your physical world. It will appear as a clear, divine, and undeniable opportunity. For some, this will be an unexpected phone call or email, offering you the very career, creative project, or opportunity for service that your soul has been yearning for. For others, it will be a sudden and synchronistic encounter with a person who you will instantly recognize as a divine partner, a soulmate, or a key ally for your future. For others still, it may be an internal event, a sudden, blinding flash of divine inspiration that reveals, with absolute clarity, the next great chapter of your life's purpose and the first step you must take to begin it. You will recognize this as the opportunity, the great door, by its unique energetic signature. Michael gives you these signs to look for. It will feel simultaneously exhilarating and terrifying to your human self. The opportunity will align perfectly and undeniably with the highest vision you cultivated for yourself during your week of preparation. It will absolutely require a significant and courageous leap of faith, demanding that you definitively let go of your old life and your old securities. And finally, the timing of its arrival will be impeccable and will carry with it a profound and unmistakable feeling of now or never. This is the door heaven is holding open for you. Simultaneously, the familiar door to your past will also make its presence known. It will manifest as the voice of your own fear-based ego, presenting you with 1,000 seemingly logical and responsible reasons why you should say no to the great opportunity. It will be the temptation to retreat, the overwhelming urge to choose the comfort of the known over the magnificent uncertainty of your true destiny. The two choices, the two doors, will be presented to you today with a clarity that is both absolute and profound. The entire universe is now holding its breath, waiting to see which one you will choose. This is the moment. The opportunity, your great door, is now open before you. The fear, the temptation of the familiar door, is whispering its final, seductive lies in your ear. All of your forging, all of your preparation, and all of your faith have led you to this single, powerful, and life-altering point of choice. Archangel Michael stands beside you now, not to choose for you, but to lend you his strength and his clarity. The final act is yours and yours alone. This is not a choice to be made with your logical mind, it is a declaration to be made with the full, sovereign power of your heart and your soul. To make this choice a conscious, sacred, and powerful energetic event, Michael now gives you the simple but profound prayer of passage. This is not a prayer of asking, it is a prayer of claiming. It is the spiritual act of you formally and authoritatively choosing your timeline and commanding the universe to align with your decision. As the opportunity presents itself, as you feel the pull of both doors, you are to find a quiet moment, even if just in your own heart, and speak these or similar words with all the power and conviction of your forged and ready soul. Before the witness of my own soul and my guardian, Archangel Michael, I stand in this sacred moment of choice. I see the great door before me. I recognize it and I claim it as my divine destiny. With the full power and authority of my being, I release all fear, all doubt, and all attachment to my past. I choose my greatness. I choose my light. I choose my future. I now, consciously and joyfully, walk through this great door into my new reality. I have arrived. And so it is. He then instructs you that this sacred, spiritual declaration must be immediately followed by a corresponding physical act of acceptance. This is the crucial step of grounding your divine choice in your earthly reality. This means you must say yes to the phone call. You must agree to the meeting. You must buy the plane ticket. You must take the first, small, tangible step that signals to the universe that your choice is not just a thought, but a real and committed action. This combination of a spiritual decree and a physical act is the divine key that turns completely in the cosmic lock, sealing your choice and initiating your passage into your new life. This is your moment of ultimate power. This is you, the hero of your own story, consciously and bravely choosing your own magnificent and happy ending. The moment you make your sovereign choice, the moment you speak your prayer of passage and take the first corresponding physical action, you will feel two profound and almost simultaneous energetic events occur. The first will be the exhilarating feeling of your spirit surging forward through the great door. The second, equally powerful and significant, will be the unmistakable sensation of the familiar door to your past closing forever behind you. You must be prepared for this feeling, for it is the divine and final seal upon your old life, and it is a testament to the irreversible and permanent nature of the choice you have just made. This sensation will not be an auditory sound that you hear with your ears. It will be a deep, internal, and profoundly resonant energetic thud that you will feel in the very core of your being. It is the spiritual sound of a great, ancient, and heavy stone door rolling shut and locking into place. It is the feeling of a great and final chapter of a book being closed with a decisive snap. It is the energetic signature of a bridge to your past being lovingly and irrevocably burned by the universe, not to punish you, but to free you completely from the temptation of ever retreating. The emotional response to this profound finality may be complex, and Michael asks you to simply allow and observe any feelings that arise. You may feel a brief and fleeting wave of sadness or a slight pang of nostalgia for the familiar identity and the comfortable world you are leaving behind. This is a natural and human response, a moment of honorable goodbye to the life that served as your sacred forge. But this feeling will be almost instantly and overwhelmingly replaced by a tidal wave of the most profound relief and liberation you have ever experienced. It is the feeling of a prisoner who, after a lifetime of incarceration, finally hears the great gates of the prison lock shut behind them, knowing they are truly and forever free. This is the universe fulfilling its most sacred promise to you. The old timeline, with its limitations, its struggles, and its painful lessons, is now completely and energetically inaccessible to you. You cannot go back, even if you tried. This absolute finality is heaven's greatest gift to you today. It is the divine guarantee that you will never again be tempted or haunted by the ghost of your old, smaller self. It removes all possibility of regret or second-guessing. The choice has been made. The old door has been sealed. And you are now free to turn your full and undivided attention to the magnificent and boundless new reality that now lies open before you. With the old door now sealed forever behind you and the great door now open before you, you have officially completed your passage. You have arrived. Archangel Michael now formally and joyfully welcomes you to your new reality, to the first day of your new era. He asks you to pause, to be still, and to take your first conscious and deliberate breath in this new and higher timeline. He wants you to notice, with your heightened senses, that the very air you are breathing feels different. It feels cleaner, lighter, crisper, and it seems to shimmer with an almost visible energy of infinite and benevolent potential. This first, conscious breath is your sacred act of anchoring your physical body and your spirit into this new, high-frequency reality. It is your first moment of being truly home. The very first and most undeniable feeling you will experience in your new reality is a profound sense of expansiveness. Your old timeline, with its fears and its limitations, was, in an energetic sense, a constricting and invisible cage around your spirit. Now, that cage has been dissolved. You will feel your own aura, your own spirit, your very consciousness, expanding outwards in all directions, as if taking its first deep and satisfying stretch after being confined for a lifetime. It is a feeling of boundless freedom, of limitless potential, and of a horizon that is no longer a wall, but an open and inviting vista. This glorious feeling of expansiveness is built upon a new and unshakable foundation of profound peace. The constant, low-grade static of anxiety, the background noise of your old struggles and worries, has been completely and utterly silenced. You have arrived in a reality where the baseline, foundational frequency is not the energy of striving, but the energy of serene and graceful being. This is the peace that transcends all understanding, a deep and abiding calm that is not dependent on your external circumstances, but is the very atmosphere of your new world. This peace is your new ground. It is your new home. It is your new and permanent state of being. This trinity of experience, the new breath of life, the feeling of boundless expansiveness, and the foundation of unshakable peace, is the immediate and undeniable proof of your successful passage. This is not a future reward you must work towards. It is the reality you inhabit right now. This is the immediate reward for your courage, for your faith, and for your wise and victorious choice. The long, dark night of your forging is over. The brilliant and beautiful dawn of your great destiny has now, finally and gloriously, arrived. As you stand now on the threshold of this new and magnificent era of your life, a new chapter begins not only for you, but in your sacred relationship with Archangel Michael. He now looks upon you, not as an apprentice in the forge or a student being coached through a test, but as a full-fledged graduate, a sovereign being who has successfully and courageously claimed their destiny. And so, he declares that his old vow to you, the secret vow he made to your soul before you were born, has now been gloriously and completely fulfilled. He vowed to be your forge master, and your forging is now complete. He vowed to guarantee your ultimate victory, and your victory is now secured. He vowed to be your divine intervention, and he has just intervened. And he vowed to be the one to remind you, and you have now been fully awakened. That sacred and ancient contract has been brought to its perfect and triumphant conclusion. But he does not leave. Instead, as a testament to your new, elevated status and the profound bond that has been forged between you, he now makes a new vow to your soul. This is not a vow of preparation for a struggle, but a vow of partnership in a victory. It is a new and even more intimate contract, one made not between a guardian and a charge, but between two powerful and victorious warriors of light, ready to co-create a new world together. He asks you to receive this new vow as the final and most sacred seal upon your new reality. With all the love and authority of the heavens, he now speaks these words directly to your soul. My old vow is fulfilled, and now, as you stand as a master in your new reality, I make you this new and eternal vow. I will no longer be just your forge master, I will now be your divine co-architect, helping you to build your most beautiful dreams. I will no longer be just your guarantor, I will now be your joyful companion on your magnificent path. I will no longer be just your interventionist, I will now be your most trusted and constant divine advisor. I vow to walk beside you in this new land, to celebrate your joys, and to co-create with you in all things, as your most powerful and loyal partner, for all of your days. He has now commissioned you to go forth and to live boldly, joyfully, and fearlessly in this new reality that you have so courageously chosen and so arduously earned. The time of testing is over. The time of magnificent, purposeful, and joyous living has now begun. The great final door has been walked through. His final and most profound blessing is now upon you. He congratulates you on your victory. He honors you for your courage. And he welcomes you, with all the joy in heaven, to the first day of your true and magnificent life.